We all get used to our ways of life, but something's bound to change. Today we fly like kites, but I ask myself, will tomorrow be the same? And we're all puppets, but we don't know who holds the strings. Have vices to put our minds at ease. We're in a snow globe waiting to be shaken out of our sleep. We be the best that we can be till we can say cheers to the future, say goodbye to yesterday.
May 14th, 2017, I released what is still, I think, to this day, my most important video. About a year ago, I donated my hair to Pantene Beautiful Lengths, and it's a decision that I don't think I'll ever regret. So initially, this whole thing started just because I hated getting haircuts. Like, I feel like every time I come out of a barber's shop, I'm just not happy with what it looks like, and eventually I just went, you know what, maybe I'm just done with haircuts, and I kind of started growing out my hair a little bit. But then I ran into Ben. Ben and I have been friends since high school started, and throughout those 4 years it just strengthened more and more. And about halfway through, Ben told me that he was growing his hair out for a charity and so that he could donate it, and I thought that was amazing. And that's kind of what made it click that if I'm going to be growing out my hair, I should be doing it for a purpose. And that's when I turned to looking at places to donate my hair, and that's kind of really where the whole thing started, just because I didn't want to get a haircut. But Ben played a big part in that.
Hello and welcome.
So how long have you been growing your hair out?
Are we just starting on this?
I mean, actually, this one is like the not serious one, so we'll just have both of our voices in there. So, how long have you been growing your hair out?
That's a good question. I don't remember. I think about 2.5 years now. I'm not sure. It was during like halfway through my junior year of high school I started.
Alright, why did you start growing your hair out?
Well, the first reason was just because I wanted to. I was like, man, I got a bowl cut, and I look like a silly dingus all the time. And then I was watching Game Grumps, and Dan's like, I'm growing my hair out for cancer. I'm like, I could seem like a cool guy if I do that. So I did.
So you're telling me the whole reason that I grew my hair out was because you were a silly dingus throughout middle school and most of high school?
Yes.
So you made me look like that for a year, and then some, because Dan from Game Grumps... Okay, no, alright, no, this is fine, A big portion of why I donated my hair is because of my grandma, Linda. How long were you and Linda married?
38 years.
Give me faith and I'll be kind. Give me enough to get through the night. Give me just the simplest of things, and I promise I'll do whatever it takes.
Well, she came down with cancer in 1999, and I was still up in Forsyth, Montana, and she was down here, and she called one night and told me about it. And then I took early retirement and come down here, and which was a good thing because then I was here to help her through it. And then she was pretty clean for about 4 years, and then she fell, and hurt her hip, and she went to the doctor several times for that, and wound up that being cancer on her hip, and so she had to take 25 treatments for radiation. Yeah, and then after that we took her to Mexico and got some treatments down there. And she was good for a little while, but it just after a while it just started getting all over her body, on her arms and her legs and her head and all over the place. And in the final days it got to where she just got to where she couldn't fight it anymore. And you know, after so long of that, 11 and a half years of it, why, it just beat her down. And
when we lost her in 2009, it was devastating. It was like the biggest part of myself was missing now, and it was really hard for me.
If there was ever anybody on this earth that, other than the good Lord himself, that was a hero to me, that would be her, for the way she handled it.
I was a kid, but like that was my hero, and she was gone, and I didn't know what to do. And you know, that's the kind of pain that doesn't really stop.
She was a kind-hearted person. She would do anything for anybody and help anybody with anything they had to do. And she had her faults just like all of us have, but through it all, she was a good, kind-hearted person.
My grandma was an amazing woman. She taught me that there's more to life than what there appears to be just on the surface. I feel like there were a lot of times in my life where I could have just settled and kind of lived out my life where I was, but she taught me to go above and beyond and to expect more from myself, and I think that played a big part in the person I am today. She was such an inspiring person. She was so kind-hearted and gentle, and she was nice to everybody that she knew, and I couldn't think of a better role model. She taught me that being nice to people is one of the things that makes us the most human. Being able to connect with other people like she did was eye-opening.
Obviously it was a blow to us, and I think it made her and I for sure come closer together, and as far as the effects it had, why, it was good in a way, because it did make us draw closer together, and although she had to suffer a lot, and she was a great inspiration to a lot of people who knew her because of the way she handled the cancer. And I've had a lot of people tell me that she was our hero too.
I asked myself why, but I guess it was your time. I just wish I would have known, so I could have said goodbye.
You know, she was so full of compassion and understanding and just this desire to always keep going. She used to love to scrapbook, and I still look through those pictures all the time, and every time I see a picture of her, I see that determination and that willpower, that nothing is going to stop her in her eyes, and it makes me want to keep going.
You know, for a while she could still do the things that she would normally do, and then after years went by, why, it got to where she couldn't, and
It's
so
the knowledge that she's in a better place now that kind of helps us all a little bit in cases like that.
I will see you again.
Cancer definitely affects a lot of people in the country, and I think that's a big reason why a lot of us can have such a big conversation about it, because a lot of us have experienced the pain and the loss that cancer brings, and my grandma was no exception. You know, I feel like it definitely brought us closer together as a family, because we realized that life is precious and that we need to take every moment that we have and cherish it and do something great with it. And I can think of no better example of all these things than my grandma. She constantly was doing the things that she loved. She was always such a loving person, and every second with her was amazing. You know, a lot of people say that, oh, you're just donating your hair, that's not really doing anything. I would have to disagree. I feel like a wig for a woman with breast cancer kind of gives back a sense of normality in their lives. Cancer is such a catastrophe to people's lives and their families and their normal routines that I feel like having just that small sense of normality back can really do wonders. My grandma, she took her wig almost as a symbol that you don't need to have life just give you something and you just lay down and take it. You can stand up and fight against it and say, no, this is how I'm going to live my life because I have people that I care for and you're not going to stop me. And so when I was looking at places to donate my hair, I really connected, I really clicked with Pantene because their message about serving women with cancer just really spoke to me in ways that really reminded me of my grandma.
And I'm still here.